Scaling your law firm doesn't have to be difficult. It's all about mastering a few key strategies, systems, and mindsets. Welcome to the Scalable Law Podcast, where we talk about how you can increase profit in your pocket and time in your calendar. My name is Carolee Fontanelli, and I have successfully scaled my firm so that it doesn't solely rely on me. Now I love teaching other law firm owners how to do the same. Let's transform your business starting now. Welcome to another episode of the Scalable Law Podcast. I am your host, Carolee, and today we are talking about all things AI and how to use AI in your law firm. AI is moving incredibly fast right now. New tools are launching every single week, and for most law firm owners, the honest response to that is not excitement, it's overwhelm. I'm not sure if you feel like that, but I'm hearing that a lot in the market. There are too many tools, too much noise, not enough clarity on what actually matters for law firms like yours. So that's what we are going to be talking about today. We're not going to be doing a technology showcase, or I'm not going to try and impress you with my AI skills. What we're really going to talk about is real systems, smarter operations, and a better experience for you and your clients. So the firms that will win are going to be the ones who combine technology, systems, their people, and client experience. AI is only one part of that equation, and it only works when the others are in reasonable shape. The winning firms are going to get all four right, and that is what we're going to be talking about today. The legal industry is changing faster than most law firm owners are comfortable admitting or are comfortable with themselves. Clients now compare every firm to every other service that they use. They expect the speed of Amazon, the communication of their bank, and the clarity of their GP. At the same time, teams expect more flexibility, operational costs are rising, and margins are tightening. The real shift isn't human versus AI. That framing misses the point entirely. The firms that win will be humans plus systems plus AI working together, each doing what it does best. AI is an amplifier. It amplifies efficiency, speed, communication, systems, data, and client experience. But here is the critical point, and I really want you to hear this. Most firms do not have an AI problem. They have a systems problem. The problem was there before AI. AI placed into the chaos creates faster chaos. So that's what you have to be careful of. Before you can fully leverage AI, you need process clarity. You need documented workflows. You need data discipline and operational structure. AI accelerates what already exists. So if what exists is unclear, inconsistent, or undocumented in your law firm, AI is just going to make it worse, not better. So a smart place to start is to work out where AI is best placed in your law firm. We need to work out where you're actually losing time so that you can work out systems and AI that you should implement. Every week inside law firms, everywhere, hours are disappearing into things like drafting, repetitive emails, chasing clients for documents, writing file summaries, updating matters, onboarding new clients, formatting documents, internal communication, note-taking, searching for precedents, and intake admin. None of that is complex legal work. All of it follows a pattern, and all of it can be partially or fully assisted by AI. the cumulative effect of those hours is significant. Time drain, lower profitability, team fatigue, slower response times, and client frustration. This is where AI can step in and help. So let's look at the 5 areas where AI is creating the biggest impact inside law firms right now. I'm going to give you a quick overview of each one, and then we're going to go deeper into every single one of these tools with real examples on exactly how you can implement them. So number 1 is marketing and lead generation. Number 2 is client intake and communication. This is where the client's experience either wins or loses the matter. Number 3 is legal drafting and research. This is the one that saves your lawyers the most hours per week. AI assists with first drafts, document summaries, precedent research, and meeting notes, so your team can spend more time on the work that actually requires their expertise. Number 4 is team productivity and operations. This is about building a firm that does not rely on you for every answer. AI helps you to document processes, support your team, standardize delivery, and create the operational infrastructure that lets people perform without constant direction. And number 5 is data and decision making. This is one that most firms are not doing yet. But AI gives you real visibility into what is actually happening in your firm. Conversion rates, utilization, revenue trends, workflow models, so that you can make faster, better decisions based on evidence rather than gut feel. 5 areas, real time savings across all of them. So let's go through each one properly, starting with lead generation. So we'll start with marketing, because this is the area where I see law firms losing the most time for the least return. Most firm owners know they should be marketing consistently. But between client work, team management, and running the business, marketing always seems to be the thing that's pushed to tomorrow. AI changes that equation completely, not by replacing your voice or your expertise, but by doing the heavy lifting that was previously eating hours that you did not have. So let me show you exactly how this works. So without AI, the reality for most law firms is that content creation is really slow. You sit down, you write a blog post or a social media caption, an hour disappears, and that is only if you sit down at all, which most law firm owners don't consistently do. Posting is inconsistent. You go quiet for weeks, then you post a burst of content, then you go quiet again. That inconsistently signals to potential clients that the firm is not active or engaged. Follow-up is manual. Someone inquires, your team is busy, the follow-up gets delayed or forgotten entirely, and that lead goes cold. Every piece of content gets used once. You write something, post it, and move on. There is no system for taking that one piece of thinking and turning it into multiple pieces of content across multiple platforms. And marketing is reactive. You think about it when things are quiet, which means by the time you act, the pipeline of new leads has already dried up. This is not a discipline problem. It is a systems problem. And AI can help you with this one. So with AI, every single one of these problems has a solution. Content that used to take you 2 hours, 20 minutes now. Your ideas turned into published, polished, ready content fast. And because that time barrier is gone, you can actually stay visible, which means you are being consistent week after week, without it competing with your client work. That's consistency, and that's what builds trust with your audience over time. Then there are your follow-up sequences, your email nurture campaigns, your lead responses. All of that gets triggered automatically. No inquiry falls through the cracks, and the system handles it. And here is something that I love. One piece of content becomes many. today we do a webinar and it becomes a blog post and 5 social media posts, an emails newsletter, and a series of video scripts. You create once and it goes everywhere. So you are no longer limited by how many hours your team can physically put into marketing. The system does the work. You just have to set it up properly. That is the shift. I want to talk to you about something that most people are not doing yet. And when you understand this, it is going to change how you think about AI and marketing completely. Most law firms are using AI like a faster typist. They give it a topic, it writes something, they publish it. That's fine, and it does save time, but it is not the real power. The real power is when you train your AI, such as Claude, and I'm going to talk about Claude a lot today, to actually know your clients, their fears, their frustrations, the words they use when they are searching for help, what they have already tried, why those things did not work, what they desperately want but are afraid to say out loud. When Claude understands all of that, every piece of content it produces speaks directly to the person you're trying to reach, not generic legal content, not content that sounds like every other law firm website. Content that makes your ideal client read it and think, this firm actually understands what I'm going through. That is what converts. That is what builds trust before someone's ever spoken to you. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that now. The first thing you do is sit down or use Claude to help you or whatever AI you're using and document everything you know about your ideal client. Not the demographics like 35 to 55 business owner. That is not enough. What I mean is the deep stuff, what they are lying awake thinking about at 2 a.m., what they have already tried that did not work, what they are afraid to admit themselves about their situation, or what they wish someone would just say to them. So every pain point, every frustration, every fear, every desire, the exact language your clients use, not the legal language, their language. This document becomes the intelligence that Claude learns from. Now, I have a special something for you as a podcast listener. If you go down into the show notes, you'll find a link, and that link will give you a very special document that is going to help you to train your Claude. So it's a manifesto that will help you to train Claude for your ideal client. It will give you all the prompts that you need. So go and grab that document and train your Claude up so that you've got this amazing machine to help you with your content. So once you have the document, you give it to Claude as context before you ask it to create anything. You can pop it into Claude and keep it there as a memory so that it is trained. You can do this by what's called a custom instruction or a system prompt inside Claude. This is essentially a brief that sits at the start of every conversation, telling Claude exactly who your clients are, what they care about, and how to speak to them. Now, every time you ask Claude to write a blog post, social media caption, email, a video script, it is doing it through the lens of your ideal client. It knows who it is talking to. It knows what they care about. It knows what they need to hear. The content that comes out is completely different from what a generic AI will produce. So here is where it gets even more powerful. If you go back through your client emails, your consultation notes, your intake forms, your Google reviews, and look for the exact words and phrases your clients use to describe their problems, not your words, their words. People do not search Google for property settlement advice. They search for how do I protect my assets in a divorce, or what happens to the house when I separate, or can my ex take my superannuation. Those are the phrases that need to be put in your content, because AI search and Google are matching your content to the real questions that real people are typing in. Paste those phrases into Claude. Tell it, these are the exact words that my clients use when they describe their problems. Use this language for everything that you create for us. Now your content doesn't just sound generic, it is actually written for your ideal client, using their words, addressing their specific fears, answering their questions that they are actually answering. Now the next layer is your voice. Claude can learn to write in your tone, the way you speak, the phrases you use naturally, the energy you bring to content. You can give Claude examples of your best content, posts that got the most engagement, emails that got the most open rates and replies, videos that resonated with people. And what you can do is ask Claude to analyze what makes those pieces work and replicate that style. You can also tell Claude explicitly, write in a tone that's calm, direct, intelligent, and grounded. Never use hype or exaggerated claims. Lead with insight. Write as if you are a trusted advisor who has seen these problems many times and you know exactly how to solve them. What's going to happen is over time, and especially if you're using Claude's projects feature, which allows you to save context across conversation, Claude builds a deep understanding of how you communicate, and every piece of content it produces sounds just like you, not like a generic AI, like you, at your best with unlimited time to write. So now you know how to train Claude to speak directly to your ideal client. The next question is, how do I make sure that the marketing actually runs without me having to think about it every single week? This is where automation comes in. And when you combine your AI or Claude's intelligence with the right automation tools, your marketing starts working around the clock without you or anyone in your firm manually driving it. So let's walk through the specific automations that are making the biggest difference for law firms right now. So most firms create content reactively. Something happens, someone finds some time, and they start posting something. But with AI, you're going to flip that entirely. You sit down once, maybe 2 hours once a month, and you use Claude to generate a full month's worth of content. Blog posts, social media captions, email newsletters, video scripts, all written in your voice, all speaking to your ideal clients' specific fears and desires, because Claude already has your client intelligent document as a foundation. That content then gets scheduled through a tool like Buffer, Hootsuite, or Later, and it goes out automatically every week without touching it. 1 session a month, constant visibility every single day. So let's talk about the lead magnet funnel. This one has the highest impact automations a law firm can build, and here's how it works. You create a valuable lead magnet. Well, you can get Claude to create it for you, right? It could be a guide, a checklist, a webinar, a short video series, whatever it is, that speaks directly to your ideal client's biggest question or fear. Then someone downloads that lead magnet. Their details go automatically into your CRM. Claude is connected to that tool via Zapier and can draft a personalized welcome email sequence that goes out over the following days and weeks. That email sequence happens while you sleep, and it educates your ideal client. It answers their common questions, addresses their fears, builds their trust, and at the right moment, it invites them to book a consultation. All of that happens automatically. No leads falling through the cracks. Every inquiry gets a professional, personalized experience from the moment they interact with your law firm. Next up, we're going to talk about how Claude can help you with your referral partnerships. So most law firms have referral relationships that they are inconsistent with and entirely dependent on personal contact. Now, I don't know about you, but that gets exhausting. I certainly got exhausted by going out to all the networking events and having to be face to face with people all of the time. When you're busy, you stop nurturing those relationships, then the referrals slow down. But AI and automation fix this. You build a referral partner list of accountants, financial advisors, real estate agents, mortgage brokers, or whoever it works for your practice area to refer, that will refer work to you. Claude writes a weekly value email that goes out to that list automatically. Not a sales email. This is an educational, insightful email that builds trust with your referral partners and also helps your referral partners to look good when they share it with their own clients. That email goes out every week without you even thinking about it. Your referral partners hear from you consistently and your firm stays top of mind. This way, referrals become more predictable. Now, the next one is really awesome. It is how you can get more social proof. Social proof is one of the most powerful marketing assets that your law firm has. And most firms collect it inconsistently or not at all. But this automation is really simple. So when a matter reaches a certain stage in your practice management, maybe it's because you've closed the matter, the final invoice has been sent, the settlement is complete, or in a family law matters situation, it would be after a first initial consultation. What happens at that point is that it's triggered and an automated email gets sent to the client, a warm personal message thanking them for the work that they brought to the firm and inviting them to leave a Google review or provide a testimonial. Claude writes that message in your voice. The automation sends it out exactly at the right moment when the client feels most positive about the outcome. Reviews come in consistently, your Google profile strengthens, new clients search for your firm and see that you have a strong, active reputation. And nobody in your team has to remember to do it. So let's talk about a few tools that you need about these automations. So first of all, none of it requires a developer. None of it requires a massive budget. The tools that build every single one of these are Claude, Zapier, a CRM, and your scheduling platform. And they cost less than a single hour of a junior lawyer's time per month. What they require is setup and a clear process underneath each one. You can find someone in your team, or you could find someone on another platform that could help you set this up. But once the structure in place, your marketing runs on its own. Your leads get followed up, your reputation grows, your referral relationship stays warm, and you're doing client work or running your firm. You're not writing social media posts at 10 p.m. Now, this is a massive shift and an amazing way that you can use your AI tools, or specifically today we've talked about Claude, to help you with your marketing and to get more leads in your law firm on Automate. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's podcast. I will be delivering the rest of the 5 strategies on separate podcasts, so tune in next week to find out about client intake and communication.
Thank you for listening to the Scalable Law Podcast, brought to you by the Scalable Business Lounge. If you would love to know how you can get more clients without relying on referrals, head over to scalablelaw.com to watch my free masterclass. Until next time, you have got this.